delay. Is that me or not? Okay, that is me. All right. There it is. Now it's working. Had to go about it the hard way. Unfortunately. There it is. Now it's working. Man, that was a pain. I apologize for the hassle with that. I took me forever to figure out how to get it to work last time. Thought I had it figured out. Nope, did not have it figured out. Did not have it memorized. I should have set it up last Thursday when I still kind of knew what I was doing. I have totally forgotten since then. Good morning. Sorry for the screw ups. It has been a heck of a day, night, what have you. Glad to have you here. Glad everybody can hang out. What is up, Kyron? What is up, Katie? Finally got it up and running. I've been sitting here casting to absolutely nothing. It is confusing having to go through all these different things to get it to work. You can't just do one. Well, I can go live straight from Patreon, but I can't have the backgrounds and the music and all that separate stuff. I can't do that. But you can go from YouTube, but then you got to make a special event, and it's confusing. I'm telling you. All right. Glad everybody is here. Welcome. Good morning. Salutations. Greetings. Where's my mouse? All right. I got to go all around the drawbridge here to get to it. I'm just personally checking on the Kickstarter. I don't think it's moved since last night. Hadn't hardly budged in 3 days, which, happens sometimes. Even on a short Kickstarter, you get the lulls. But we are at $24.95, which is good. Good deal. I'm glad. That extra little bit of slacking around I had worked out well for you. And when we reach the $3,000, I'm going to be putting the source book on as an add-on. And I started working up the source book pages the other day. Let me share my screen because I had it shared and now it's not because I've relaunched the show 3 times trying to get it to work. All right. I started on the source book page. Oh, see, that's got nothing on it. Let me turn everything back on. And I really liked the look of it, but it was a little bit too hard to do everything in Clip Studio the way I'd like to. In Clip Studio, is missing certain little things like being able to force justify the text so you don't end up with all this dead space on the right. And so I got like 2 pages all laid out in here and liked the way it looked, and then realized I'm going to have to go into like Corel Draw or some other program to start really laying it out the way I want it to be. So I figured I might as well just start now and set up a good template page in Corel and be able to copy and paste that and build all the other pages over there, as much as I really kind of prefer working in Clip Studio. And so I'm exporting these images and stuff that I've already gotten done and ready to go so that I can take them over there. And really, for something like page layouts and things like that that are more technical, Clip Studio would lead the better place to do it. But for like drawing images and drawing cool pictures, like I've drawn extra little bits in here, you know, to fill in some of Ka's backstory. And like, oh man, this image right here goes right along with this image, which shows Ka's first day in the arena as a fledgling. Him and his entire brood were sent to the arena as a punishment for something Ka did, and he had to sit there and watch while all of his broodmates were fed to the beasts in the arena. And then when it got down to just a handful of them, Ka and the rest of his brood that were left got kicked in and fed to this lesser skag. And he watched one by one as they were eaten, and then this thing grabbed him with its tongue, started dragging him in. He's clutching for anything he can to try and keep from getting eaten, drags that sharpened bone in with him, and then ends up using it to kill the monster from the inside and dig his way out. And as everybody in the arena is cheering and laughing at, you know, the most horrible thing this little kid has ever gone through, he gets out and lets out this enraged scream, this caw of anguish and anger and, you know, resistance. And forevermore, he is known as Ka for that sound he made, that screech he made when he came out of that monster's belly. So every time they call out his name for the rest of his life, it is a reminder of the worst possible moment in his life, and the moment he realized that he was going to have to kill or be killed for the rest of his life. I did not consider that, Kyron. See, that's the 1%er kind of information that I don't have access to. Is just a poor old comic book artist. See, I don't have that kind of details. But ultimately, I really want to kind of keep everything in one place if I can. So I'm gonna figure it out and get it easier. But so yeah, y'all have got a little peek here into Ka's backstory that nobody else has so far. Y'all too are in the know right now because y'all are the ones that were here for it, and anybody else that decides to come back and watch later on. But yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. That's the page the way I set it up in Clip Studio, and now this is me over in Corel Draw, and I mimicked just about everything pretty well. You are welcome, Kyron. I wish I could do a good call scream. I just can't do it. So I think I've got everything laid out pretty well here in a means it'll be easy to copy. And now that I have these text blocks laid out and they're connected from this one to the next page, I can empty what's in them now and then refill it with new information as I write it about the other characters as we go. And now it's just a process of figuring out where do I want to break this. It is 7 by 10.5 is the finished size for the image. It's going to get trimmed after that to some smaller size. But if you could do the image at 7 wide by 10.5 tall, that's what I need to send, and then it's going to get like 3/8 of an inch trimmed off of it all the way around or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know 7 by 10.5 is the finished size because I just had to look it up again today. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to shrink that a little bit. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make that a period and an enter so that breaks right there with him being pulled into the monster's gaping maw. And then I'm going to do import and comic books. I need to change the way I have this organized because I'm going into the call folder far too often to have to keep. Oh no, that's not where I want to do it. That would have been better there. I forgot what image I was bringing in. But I need to redo these files so that I don't have to keep going to fish and then to caw and then scroll down to this. I'm going into the caw folder far too often to have to go through all this trouble to do it. Oh man, did I do open? Import. But once I do move that, certain files are going to be like, oh, we don't know where something is because it's not where you left it when you move the folder. So, why is that giving me trouble? Oh, yeah, that'll do it, absolutely. What file type is this? Properties. It's a JPEG. Why is it not importing a JPEG? Alright, let me save it and close it and restart it. I tell you, computers, man, ain't no account. No, I don't want to buy the new version. I really rather not be using this version at all. I'd rather be using old Clip Studio. Clip Studio doesn't have Force Justify. I'm guessing because they don't Force Justify in the Japanese language. I don't know. That's all I can figure. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Maybe if you Force Justify Japanese, it turns into different words because it's a lot more intricate than English is. So, no, I want to open. Had a good time on Chat and Draw last night with Mike. Drew an awesome picture of Caw. Yeah, Kyron's got me. Trying to justify my use of force. Trying to hold the letters down. Being a white man, that's what I do. I'm trying to hold the letters down. Yeah, computer's having some troubles here. I don't know what's going on. That was weird. Y'all still here, I'm hoping? I don't know what's going on. We might be having some internet troubles, or I might just be having some computer troubles. I think I know what the problem was now. Okay. All right. Now let's come back here. Yeah, absolutely. The fridge is causing problems. The fridge is absolutely the source of all evil in my world right now, and I'm gonna have to do something about it. I may end up having to make the change to the other room sooner than I thought. Oh, that's 12 point. I don't want that to be 12 point. I want that to be 10 point. Okay, that explains part of why that was taking up so much extra room. All right. All right, let's check the other page, see if that's doing. Yeah, that's doing the same thing. That's too big. That's why. Let's see, we can shrink this down a little bit. Make it fit. And then I need to put an enter there so that goes away. And then enlarge this image up a little bit. This is all the nitpicky stuff I don't really care for. This isn't as much fun as just making cool images. Oh, that's not going to do it. That's going to just stretch it that way. Alright. Well, let's talk about the crazy talk, Karen. You know, I remember back in my day, it was okay to set fire to a weasel if you wanted to. Man had his rights in America. We could set fire to all the weasels we wanted to, and Karen was glad of it. Karen's been a weasel burner for years. Yep. Karen got his name from the sound it makes when you set a weasel on fire. Karen! They go up in an amazing blaze, he said. He took it as his name, and he was known as Karen forevermore. Karen the Destroyer of Weasels. You're welcome, Karen. Anything to help out the 1%. I know how hard y'all have it up there. I know how hard it is to be one of the richest men in the world. And not having people stare at you, well, that's just not fair. All right, strewn around the floor. Oh, okay. I got way more in there. Okay. Anything to help out old Kyron. And to get my in with the wealthy 1%ers. So I want to be a rich man like Kyron someday. I want to live in the lap of luxury. You can be fine sitting next to luxury and having it pet me on the head. But I don't have to be in its lap necessarily. Not since Kyron's taken up all the lap. Come on now. We want to... What are we doing here? Okay, maybe I gotta be on the right tool here. Maybe that's what my problem is. There we go. I'm figuring out. Karen says he's grown so fat off the back of the poor man that he don't have no lap left. He says that's the 1%er problems. We poor folk wouldn't know about that. We wouldn't understand how hard he's got it being a rich man. Now I understand completely, Karen. I have nothing but pity for the 1%ers like you. If some of them didn't do such horrible things to keep themselves in the top 1%, I wouldn't have a problem with them. If you built it and you got there yourself, good on you. When you didn't have anything to do with it and you're just hoarding it from everybody else so that they can't get there either, or even get their fair share, that's when I kind of have a problem. That's when I get a little uppity, get a little mouthy. You know how us poor folk will do. Start to mouth off to our betters like Karen, and then next thing you know, we're in trouble. Next thing you know, we've been disappeared. Alright, let's see. Where are we at the store now? Yeah, well, that's true. You can't get to that point without taking advantage of everybody else along the way. Kyron knows. Kyron didn't get there by accident. It didn't just happen. Oh no. He clawed his way over many a corpse to get there. Yeah. I think you could get comfortable. You ain't gonna get rich. You ain't gonna get way up on there. You ain't gonna get way up to the top. You ain't gonna get up into Kyron's zip code without trampling on some folks. Yeah, it's unfortunately that's just the way it goes. Okay. Man, this is taking up more room than it did in Clip Studio. File import. I could probably adjust the distance between the lines a little bit. I can't do shift page down. Fit a little bit more in there. No one will find my bodies. Unless they're extremely lucky and win the lottery, Katie says, and I'm with you on that. Like I said, honestly, if I won the lottery, I'd like to buy a house a little further out in the woods. It was a little nicer with better internet connection and have a little nicer office and have extra guest bedroom that was its own separate thing and not part of my office, so my grandbabies could come visit. Like, there's a little bit of selfish I'd like to do with it, you know. I'd probably buy all my kids a decent, modest car, Honda Civic or something that ran well and was reliable, and they could get back and forth to work and not have to worry about it breaking down on them. Because, like, as it is now, my son can't drive his car in the rain because it's got no windshield wipers. Um, so yeah, I'd like to fix that for my kids so they didn't have to worry about that if I could. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't go just nuts. I'd end up like hiring people out so that we could just work full time and put out awesome comics and pay high fees for freaking advertising to get it in front of people's eyes so that more people could come buy our books. That's what I'd do. I'd hire somebody that had a good head on their shoulders to work for me full time, like Lori, to handle all the organization and stuff. And I'd hire my buddy Eric to help me write stories because I just love his writing, and our imaginations run like directly on the same track. Well, see, Kyron, at this point, I would be wealthy, and much like you, I'd be able to do whatever I want to do. I could build my own internet out there if I wanted to. Much like the private islands and stuff that you have. Oh, dude, do you not know Eric Bennett? Man, if you don't know Eric N. Bennett, you are missing out, man. He is one of the best dudes in indie comics. He is one of the kindest, most generous best friends I have ever seen out there. Man, he is an awesome dude. Oh man, he is awesome. He's not famous. I met him when we were the very first paid gig that I worked on was inking Empyrean Command that Andrew Rowland was putting out, and it was just him and a bunch of his friends on DeviantArt had put this thing together with their characters in it, and they were having fun making this little book for them and their friends, and he hired me on to ink it for like $30 a page or something. I think, like, I wasn't charging nothing. And while I was working on it, I met Eric, who was lettering it probably for free, and come to find out, he letters so many books in indie comics. He all of the G-Men comics that like Rick Offenberger or whatever. It's Rick, I know, R-I-K. There's two Ricks, and they both got complicated last names. But anyway, I met him there as a letterer. He started sending me a little bit of work here and there, doing commissions for him. And next thing you know, we become really good friends. He hires me to do an 8-page short story for him for Power Company that he was a part of. His character is Steel Wolf. We just did Steel Wolf and Stray. He did the In Diversity books that had everybody's universe as a alternate reality in them. Anyway, he's the creator of Steel Wolf, and he had me do a little short 8-page story that had Steel Wolf and 5-Star and Thunder Woman and stuff. Well, that was starting out inking just to get a job and get my foot in the door and be able to have something that I did for somebody else that I could point to and say, see, I could do it. I was doing full color pages and lettering back then for $60 a page. I don't do that anymore. But anyway, that's when we met. That's when we became friends. He hired me to do that little short story. And that short story is what got me the job illustrating Five Star and got me the job illustrating Roy Johnson's Sentinels and all of those books that he puts out, and got me the job illustrating Power Company and all that other stuff. And Eric is just a good dude that's friends with everybody, and he will brag about your work to everybody and show it off to everybody. He's the reason that I got a job working with Barry Gregory from Kablam on his Gallant comics. The issues haven't come out yet. He's waiting to release them. Probably going to do another book so he can release all three at once, I think is what he's doing. But like, I got the chance to work with him, and he's freaking amazing to work for, because I'm friends with Eric and he's friends with Eric. And Eric's like, "Oh, have you thought about hiring Fish?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't think I could hire Fish because I figured he was so busy doing everybody else's books." And Eric's like, "Oh, no. My buddy Fish is fast. He can hook you up." And when my wife left out of nowhere, my ex-wife just disappeared on us one day, and all of a sudden I'm left struggling, like, how are we going to survive? How are we going to pay the bills? Eric was the one that was out there. "Hey, Fish has open space for commissions. Hey, you've been wanting a comic book done. Why don't you come hit up my buddy Fish?" He was out there beating the bushes. The next thing you know, I had full-time steady work, and I kept the bills paid. COVID turns around and shuts everything down, and Eric's out there beating the bush, sending people my way. Every time a stimulus check comes out, Eric's like, "Oh, hey, you've been wanting to get a commission done, haven't you? Why don't you go hit up Fish?" And I mean, he has been the best dude in the world to have in my corner. That doesn't mean that everybody can just go hit him up and be like, "Hey, I want you to make me famous now." It doesn't work that way. Part of the reason it worked is because we're genuinely friends and we talk all the time and, hang out. And that's part of why I'd want to hire him, because our imaginations click so well. And when your imaginations are running on the same tracks, it's so much easier to go so much further, so much cooler, so much faster when your imaginations run on the same track than if yours is going this way and mine's going that way, or we're going opposite directions. It's like pulling teeth to get something done. But when me and Eric work together on a project, it's just like, "Oh man, wouldn't it be cool if we did this?" And then I'm like, "Oh man, you know what'd really be cool? What if we did this?" And he's like, "Oh man, but if we took that and then we added this part," I'm like, "Oh man, hold on, I got this." And then, I freaking goosebumps just thinking about it. I love working with the dude, man. Our imaginations click so well together. Oh, that's one thing they don't tell you when you get Tourette syndrome is your nerves are going to be turned up to 50 all the time. And things like goosebumps are going to hurt like hell. Feel like a million needles sticking in your arms. And then somebody's just moving those needles around just for the heck of it. Just because you heard a song you love. And now you're going to be in pain. Because fun. Because you have to be wired wrong. But that's all right. I ain't hung up about it, because being wired wrong also makes me a good artist, makes me creative, makes me spit out crazy ideas like Kyle in 30 days. So, a little bit of great pain when you hear a song you like from high school, that's a small price to pay. That's what we say at Pepperidge Farms. It's a small price to pay. A little agony's a good thing. Keeps you honest. That's what Kyra says. Oh. Everybody loves Dick Cider. Sorry. I'm ticky. I don't know why I woke up ticky this morning. And I got sleep last night. Couldn't be the high sugar, high fructose corn syrup coffee I'm drinking this morning. Surely it's not that. Couldn't be. My beloved Starbucks wouldn't do me wrong. Pleasure is painful. That's what Sean Barbar told me. That boy ain't right. That's what I told you. There you go. I'm telling you, man. I at this point, I got an eye for it. I'm telling you. If you want, I think I can download and send you the page template that I use. I think. If not, I could send you like one of my blank pages that I have set up, and you could copy that and work for that when you need to do something and make sure it fits within comic book sizes. But also, that's the standard for Kablam, and everybody else's print standards are just a hair different. Like Comics Wellsprings is like an eighth of an inch or something, or a quarter inch different in one direction or the other. Like everybody's a little bit off, just because it would be too easy if they were all the same. But, and like I've noticed, some comic books that I get go into standard comic book bags real easy, and other ones are a real pain to get in, and it bugs me to no end. All right, so we've got, I think that's pretty much got that page done. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw in a new page. Number of pages, we'll put in 4. Just because we can, and just because we will. I'm gonna copy all that mess. I'm gonna take it to page 3, and I'm gonna paste all that mess. And then I'm gonna delete that one. I'm gonna delete that there. I don't want to delete it, but I don't want to get rid of it either. The one nice thing about switching from I'm trying to think of a program, but I cannot think of the name. Clip Studio! That's the name. One of the nice things about switching from Corel to Clip Studio is that now I have built-in spell checkers and stuff and grammar in Corel, so I can do my typing and stuff right in here and not have to type it up in like a Google Doc to make sure that it's all spelled correctly and then copy and paste it over in there. I could just actually do it in here now, which will be nice, and I can rewrite things to fit in the space allotted, because not everybody is going to need 2 pages. Not everybody's going to need that much. Not everybody's going to have as much backstory as Ka does. Not everybody needs that much. One of the things I do need to do is, where is it? Cover. All right. Here is, let me come over here and give you a better image of that. Here is a look at the cover so far for the source book that I'm going to be releasing as an add-on once we hit $3,000 on the Kickstarter, which is all cool and fancy and whatnot. But I also have a lot of images on here that I didn't end up using. And, oh, I didn't want to turn that on, but I did turn it on. I wanted to select it, not turn it on. It's hard. I tend to turn things on. That's what Kyron said about me. I'm not one to argue with Kyron. Not when he's turned on. Okay, I'm going to try copying those. Let's see. We're going to try making a new page. And we are going to go down to Kablam template. And we are going to click on the OK. Then we're going to hit the paste. Yeah, they all came through, as they do. Okay, I don't need that big mamma jamma. Delete the mask. Those character designs are awesome, she says. Thank you. I appreciate that. I put a lot of thought and work into them. I'm missing one. Where did he go? Did I not get a full body of him? No, I thought. Okay, I didn't use his. I didn't grab his full body. That's what I didn't do. Okay. Here's one of the problems that I had when I was working up these sheets. I did like full body drawings of them, but eventually I ended up just I quit wanting to make a bunch of separate layers, and so I just drew these guys right next to each other, and they're not on separate layers, and they're not colored on separate layers, so it's all attached together. So now let's copy that. We're going to go over to this new page. We're going to paste in, and we're going to grab those layers and we're going to move them up to the top so that we can see through all this. And we're gonna give it a little zoom, like Kyron would say, because Kyron's a weirdo like that. But that's all right. We love Kyron anyway, because we want to get rich, suckling in his teeth. That's what they say. That's what Sarah would say. I wouldn't say such things because I'm not as bold as Sarah, but you know, that's something Sarah would say if she was here. But she's not, so I can pick on her. I can pick on her like a booger. Let's see. All right, now we're going to delete that from both those layers. And we're going to turn off that little white outline because right now it's a little tacky, Karen says. We don't do tacky up in the 1%, Karen says. So, all right. Now we're going to collapse that down together like a man would do. And now I don't know what we're going to do. Now we're in uncharted territory, Fish says. Fish says a lot of crazy things. But the crazier he gets, the more I listen. So that's when the truth comes out. That's what Karen tells me. That's when Fish becomes dangerous. You think it's crazy. Oh, no. It's real crazy. It ain't just crazy. Come on, tiny little owl man. There we go. We got to move Owl Man to the front because Owl Man can't see. He's down there under everybody's buttocks. That's no good for an Owl Man. All right, let's see. File. I wonder if I can export him as selected. No, I can't. Darn. Alright, let me turn off everything else. Thought I was going to get to skip a step, but it's never that easy for us. No, Fish, you can't do it the easy way. Fish, you got to do it the hard way. Got to feel like I earned it. That's what Karen says. Fish needs to feel like he earned it. Kyron don't want to earn it, but he needs me to feel that way. Oh, who get a message from now? I don't know. All right. Snow yard. Selection area. Good deal. Okay. All right. Righty. Now we gotta get a mutant lion man. I like him with his mask off better, but that's the way I drew him. Oh goodness, what did I name him? I don't remember right now. Gave him a good name, and I'm drawing a blank, so it's just going to be lying for right now until I remember and retitle him. What did I name him? Orion Longclaw. That's what it was. Durr. I knew I had a name for him. I knew it because that's the way I do. Just like Redtail, I gave him a name. I give everybody names, but that's why I write them down. Because I've also got a bad memory. For all my creativity, I had a lousy memory. On the plus side, I can come up against stories that I wrote down back in the day and then be like, oh, hey, I forgot all about that. Let's see, I just got some messages. Let's see who messaged. Well, Sarah's watching my YouTube for free. Oh, my mercy. It's out there in the wild. Dang. I tell you, I'm missing a step. I am missing a step indeed. Ah, well, we'll figure it out. I'm going to have to go back through all the instructions and figure it out again because I am missing a step. But that's all right. Come on, biggin. I put one of his tribe in the first issue. You'll see him in the background back there. Well, him or one of his tribes. Kind of, they tend to look a lot alike. I wanted it to be somebody from his tribe, but it ended up looking a lot like him. So it may be him. Who knows? Export PNG. Oh, I ain't gonna hate it either. You're one of my favorite Sarahs in the whole wide world, so I ain't gonna be hung up about it. Yeah, somebody said, I think it was Kyron, said Fish needs to get his head out of his butt and figure out what he's doing. Quit being all amateur hour about it. It's what Kyron said. Kind of hurt my feelings, but he was right, so I'll figure it out. I had a heck of a time even getting it on today, and it worked. It was complicated, but I got it to work last week. This week, not so much. It was supposed to be unlisted, but, well, so much. It does, doesn't it? It's not like, and I've got his inflection and everything. I got his slow country drawl, the whole 9 yards. I mean, if that ain't Kyron, I don't know what it is. I should be able to get in through the voice print recognition in his mansion, I would imagine. Because, I mean, it's a spot on Kyron. I'm here to tell you. And it's the way Kyron starts everything he says with a, well, back in my day. That's what really sells it as Kyron. It's the wheel that, that trembly shake in the voice that, betrays his centuries upon this earth. Like, that's when oh, you've really nailed it. So I know a thing or two about imitating Kyron. Trying to think of the name right now to make a joke about it. Identity theft. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah. I know a thing about impersonating Kyron because I'm the king of identity theft when it comes to Kyron. Not just anybody. If you're going to steal from the 1%. That's what I say. Kyron's the 1% of the 1%. He's what the 1% want to be when they grow up. So yeah, we're watching the incredibly interesting avenues of file management right now, which is, I know that's what, that's the wrong button. It's green, but that's the wrong one. I'll get in trouble for playing that right now. Yeah. So now the question is, who am I going to do next? Because oh, I'm missing somebody. I'm missing one of my favorite characters. Where is he? I know I copied him over here. Did I not? I don't see him. I don't see him because he ain't there. That ain't fair. All right, let's go back and get my favorite dude because he's my favorite dude. There we go. I didn't select his layer. That's what it was. Pulled a Katie. I was on the wrong layer. You never want to pull a Katie, not on a project like this. Not with everybody watching, fish. That's not the time to pull a Katie. Poor fishy. Didn't know any better. That's when he lost his audience right there. Oh, I'm a crazy old man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. That's how I spent my life. It's on the wrong layer. Oh, boy, that is deeper than I meant to get right there. Oh, I really have spent most of my life on the wrong layer. Bless my heart. Oy. If I'd been on the right layer from the beginning, things would have been different. Gotta export old Cha Ro. Because Cha Ro's gonna have a big part in the book eventually. Cha Ro is one of those you just can't keep down. I hate that when it's a layer and like I'll turn it on and off and on and off and on and off and I cannot find anything that it's doing. And I'm like, well, obviously I must have just accidentally clicked the layer button at some time and this wasn't really supposed to be there. And so I delete it because obviously I don't need it. There's nothing on it. And then like 5 hours later, deep into the work, I realize, oh, that was the layer that had the incredibly intricate design for like the inside of his armpits and his ankles and whatnot on that. They had that fancy texture on his suit. That's what that was. And I deleted it so far back I can't undo it now. And I didn't save it as a separate object before I deleted it. So now it's just gone because I've resaved since then. And okay, well, I guess I get to recreate that incredibly intricate little piece now. I'll put it on its own layer so I don't lose it like I did the first time. Yeah. Been there. Been there. Lived there. Got my mail forwarded. Whole 9 yards. All right. Let's see. File. We're going to import us a picture. What we're going to import us a picture of, we're going to go through a million little files and we're going to get to call and then we're going to go down to the source book folder because that's where we put everybody. We're going to get old Cha Ro. We're going to bring, oh, you little knuckle sucking. All right. Let me make sure I'm clicked off of everything and then import it because it's trying to import that image into the text and that don't work. See, Katie's out there living that smart life, doing it the way we should all be doing it. I didn't turn off his white outline. Oh, and I just squeezed him up all skinny like. You don't want your insect. You don't want your humanoid insect bounty hunters all skinny. No, you want them with a little meat on their bones. They got to be intimidating. Why else would a bird barbarian be worried about him if he was a skinny little bug man? He got to be a big bug man. Just ain't right if he's not a big bug man. That's what Kyron says. And I was inclined to believe him. Gotta believe my betters. That's what Kyron told me. Shift page down. Now I can put my own colorful box behind it. Not be stuck with the one that was there. Figure out a colorful box that'll look good behind an insect. A brown armored insect. Let's see. What color do we want to put? I want to put a little blue in there. A little blue ain't bad. Could have been worse. Let's see. Maybe a little less. That'll work. Alright. We're going to give old Charo a select, and we're going to do a little shift page up. Look at that. He's up on top of the box now. He's not being held down by the colorful boxes. Not being held down by the rainbow mafias and such. No. Not Charo. Not this asexual powerhouse. He ain't held down by nothing. There we go. But I do like his fancy little hive-looking name over here. I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to capture it. I'm going to make that his little title on his page. So we're going to select just that. Make sure we don't get none of that silly little shadow under Charo, because we don't need that nonsense. Then we're going to export that as a transparent PNG, because we're clever like that. Okay, we'll just do that. It's his name, that works. All right. Oh man, I'm sorry, Kyron. I'll have a talk with the Servants Guild and we'll make sure we get on that, because you deserve better than that. You deserve better than a dusty third Rolls Royce. Don't even get me started on the Maserati. I just want to apologize for all of us in the working class. Thank you for your kindness, Kyle. I'm going to end up taking that joke so far at some point I'm going to get Kyron in trouble. I'm going to pull a Danny J. Quick and get the whole Quick Mafia after him. And all his servants are going to do is say, good, he deserved it. Why do you think I left his Rolls Royce dusty? I'm going to say, Rosita, that's so mean. But I get it. Yeah, I feel you. Gas mileage. And if you're only using it to get to the mailbox, then 0.5 seconds to 60, like, it's only 6 miles to your mailbox. It's not even really worth, the gas mileage and stuff. I mean, yeah, you get to be loud and obnoxious and fast on your way there, but is that really worth it? No. Not when you're trying to single-handedly employ the whole U.S. economy like Kyron is. Wait a minute, I forgot his little dangle hopper. There's his dangle hopper. Let's see, that worked. Yeah, that's where I had it. You gonna tell me I spelled Charo wrong? I don't think so. We're gonna add Charo because that's gonna come up. Unveiling? No. Unyielding. Replace. Yes. Was to wash the Porsche. She drove it up and down the driveway to see what it was like, and she thought it was overrated for so much money. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't see why people pay that kind of money for these fancy high performance cars that like don't have radios, don't have cup holders, don't some of them don't even have like fancy upholstery. Like they are so stripped down and uncomfortable for the most part just to be fancy and expensive and fast. I don't need it. If I can't be comfortable getting in and out of the thing, why would I want it? I I really want to think of a name for Charo, a nickname, something that hints at his unstoppability, his never-ending, like when he when he gets put on your trail, he will never stop until he brings you in. Um, something like Doctor Who's The Oncoming Storm. Something like that, something that hints at him being unstoppable. I'm almost thinking like Virus or something, but I can't quite think of the right analogy yet. I'm gonna have to ponder on it. Unstoppable equals fish. I mean, I could call him the fish, but that gets confusing, and there's the whole trademark thing. Uh, the unrelenting. That's better than unstoppable. That absolutely is. Still trying to think of like besides the unyielding, something that is like he is the dark menace, you know like the dread pirate, you know. There you go. I don't think she's got her name trademarked yet. I could take that. Um, Weird. Oh, man, I can't just do it. Did I give his homeworld a name? Yeah. That's the wrong button, fishy. Skyrabian Collective. That's it. I'm just gonna unselect. We'll get my old text tool. Where's your? There it is. It's hiding under the word balloons. Crazy text tool. I'm gonna copy that because I don't want to have to try and spell it again. The Tenacious Charo. That I don't think Tenacious gives it enough to because oh man, when you see some of the stuff he because Kaw's brutal. Now you come up against Kaw, almost nobody survives that at all. He lays the smack down. He will stomp a bug. And to see what this dude comes back from several times, he is absolutely unstoppable and unrelenting. Not quite immortal, but he is his species is tough. They heal quickly. They could, you know, lose limbs and grow them back. They also are very adept at rebuilding themselves with technology and cybernetics and stuff. So it's absolutely nothing for them to, get a terrible injury and have cybernetics installed immediately and then get back up and grit through the pain and keep going. Hi. Yeah, Kaw's absolutely better as the barbarian. The indefatigable. I'm gonna change this because y'all can't really see what I'm doing, can you? It's too small. Let's see, how's that? There we go, that's a little bit better. The inexorable! The bestial! Good adjectives. Major officers, okay, base force mode, level education unknown. This is the stuff, having to make up heights and weights and whatnot. And his height is, actually kind of variable depending on how he stands. Because, like, he has, like, a very long neck that he usually keeps folded up. So is it when he's standing with his neck fully extended and his legs straight, or his normal bent stance? I would say normal bent would be more like it. Very tall and slender. I freaking love the Thesaurus app. That is my go-to. Has been. I mean, the Thesaurus has been my go-to since like middle school for coming up with ideas for names. Like, okay, this dude jumps, so let's look. Bounder, no. Leap, no. Vault. Ooh, Vault's a cool name. For a while, his name was Bounder Vault because I thought that was cool and sounded British. And then I just dropped it to Vault because that made a lot more sense for him. But yeah, I've always gone to the thesaurus and looked up like what are his characteristics and what are other words that mean that, and let's find some inspiration to come up with something cool. And I freaking love the thesaurus app now. I can just type stuff in and click on one and then get to synonyms of that and synonyms of something from there and end up getting on something really cool. Let's see. All right, I'm going to say I want them to be on fairly equal eyes when they look at each other. So I'm going to make him 6'8" because he's got the pointy head. Even with his armor, he's going to be a lot lighter than him. So I'm going to say 380. Okay, now hold your ears. Ow! Okay, now I need to come up with an image that I'm going to use. Like, I need another image of Charo doing something cool. Different ways to say purple and writer and creator. The source. Oh God. What was purple in French and Spanish? Because every time we had to, like, we go around the room saying colors, I would always be given purple, and everybody in both classes got mad about it because I never had to say anything but purple, and for some reason they just always picked purple, and I used to know it. I still know bonjour, je m'appelle poisson, because, that's fish. Hello, my love. Okay, all right, thank you, bye. All right, I got somebody at the front door, so at that, I'm going to have to sign off and go see what's going on. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully I can figure out the problems with this and get it fixed by next week. Thank y'all for hanging out. Purpura. Take care. Love y'all. I'll see you later. And hey, tune in tonight. I'll be on Thursday Night Throwdown with the other guys drawn live tonight. So I'll see y'all there. Thanks a lot. Bye.